So at long last, we finally arrived at the San Diego Comic-Con panel for The Dragon Prince, and it was absolutely fantastic. I really loved it. It was so wholesome. The cast and the executive producers of the show are so informative, and they're fun to watch. I highly recommend that you guys go and watch it. I'm going to put the link in the description, but for some of you, you guys just want to hear my breakdown, and that's what this video is going to be. This is going to be a real casual video where I just kind of go over what happened and talk about the parts of it that I liked. I'm going to be breaking down the entire panel, going through everything that went down and all the announcements and news and a few things that I just have some random thoughts on. So, without further delay, let's get right into it. So the first thing that they do is they all come onto the Zoom call and they all started talking in character, and it was pretty amazing. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to kind of play through it with some slight edits here and there to kind of speed things along a bit. Then I'm going to come back afterwards and talk about the parts that really stood out to me. So here we go.
Okay. Hey, Ez? You there, Ez? Ez? Am I getting you?
Bait was on the keyboard.
Rome.
Oh, okay, so I know this is supposed to be a family call, but is it okay if Rayla joins?
Yeah, of course. Bait was hoping to see her too.
Hey guys, long time no see, Callum. Good to see you from far, far away.
Wait a minute. You guys have the same background. Are you in the same place?
Nope. No, totally different places, separate, far away locations.
Callum, I can see part of your scarf in Rayla's background. You're supposed to be distancing.
Oh, come on! It's this big castle. There's lots of distancing.
Not so much that we miss each other too much.
Aw, guys, you two are adorable.
Sorry.
Soren?
How did you get on this call? It was supposed to be just a family call. I don't know how that happened.
I'm Crown Guard. I have to run the cybersecurity on all of the King's calls, and I would rate the cybersecurity of this call as very high. So go ahead. It's safe to talk about, any royal or romantic business that you want to without worry that anyone else will.
Hi, Sorbear.
Claudia, how did you get through my cybersecurity?
You sent me the invite link. I thought maybe you wanted to talk.
Oh, shoot. I must have forwarded it by accident. I keep forgetting I'm still in the villains mailing list.
Soren, who else is on this call?
Hello? What is this foul machination? I'm trying
sorry.
to browse the World Wide Web. What is going on?
Dad, you're on a video chat.
Oh, I am? Well then, hello, video chat. It is I, Dark Mage Dad 420.
Dad, please, you're embarrassing us.
Oh.
Just click the little red button at the bottom and leave.
Button? You mean, what, these strange runes on my screen? Which...
Okay, stop. Why don't we hang up and try again? We're gonna...
What? I didn't hear any of that. Can we all just agree to talk louder?
Did I freeze? Am I frozen? Can you see me?
Just move a little. You have to do a little wiggle to test it, like something like this, like ah!
Microphone. Hello.
Video calls are the worst. I hate having to communicate through a screen.
Stop your petulant complaining. I have been communicating through a screen for centuries.
Erebos, what miracle has brought you to this call?
I have been on the call this whole time. I'm on every call this whole time. You know how irritating it is to hear all of Zedia complaining about this wondrous communication device? I've been involuntarily social distancing for centuries. And if I want to do a screen call, I must perform a cosmic blood ritual with a mortar and pestle and floating knives. And what did you have to do? Click on a couple buttons. Oh, I'm so sorry. It must have been such an ordeal.
Sorry, Erebos? I lost you after irritating. Your audio's really bad.
Okay, so obviously the best part of this whole thing is Viren's username.
Dark Mage Dad 420.
I really need some fan art of Viren saying that line. Also, the second probably best thing is when Paula started talking as Rayla. When she started talking with the Rayla voice, my heart just like swelled with love for the character and for like the entire show. Like, it was so amazing. Like, it was rising when I heard Jack and Sasha talking in character, but when Paula comes in with all those Rayla sounds, oh, my brain exploded with all the good brain chemicals. Oh, also, I absolutely loved it when Eric comes in and there's just like this absolute look of like awe on everybody's faces when he starts talking. It's pretty amazing. I mean, the guy probably has the coolest voice in the entire universe. Some side bonus things that I loved is Raquel showing Paula how to test her camera.
Just move a little. You have to do a little wiggle to test it, like something like this, like
Jesse forgetting that he's still on the villains mailing list. Raquel saying Sorbear, and Jason calling the buttons on Zoom ruins. Overall, I absolutely loved this skit, and I'm so glad that they ended up doing 3 of them. I'm being spoiled over here with all these skits, because I've been starved for Dragon Prince content for so long, and then they decide to give me so much of it all at once. I am truly blessed. After the opening skit, the cast gets an opportunity to introduce themselves and give a little brief summary of what they've been up to lately. Most of it having to do with quarantine, which is really relatable. Aaron E. Has, the co-creator of the show, has been mostly working on his garden and spending time with his toddler, which I think is just wonderful. You know, there's a lot of bad things that the quarantine has brought, but one good thing is that a lot of people have had more time to spend with their families, which I think is a good thing. Jack just had a baby back in March, and he's mostly been busy being a dad, so congrats, Jack. Jason Simpson has been learning how to play the ukulele, which, I mean, is kind of incredible. Jason, I know there's a slim chance that you're watching this video right now, but if you are, bro, you have got to write a song from Viren's perspective on the ukulele. Like, you have to make it, like, about how nobody appreciates the sacrifices he's willing to make. Because if you don't, like, was learning the ukulele even worth it? That's all I'm saying. Was it worth it? Eric Todd Dellums has also been working on his garden, which is pretty cool. You know, Eric just exudes grandpa energy, and I absolutely adore it. Like, he's like the sweetest man, and he has like the coolest voice. Jesse, voice of Soren, has been also gardening. I don't know why so many people are gardening. Like, maybe I need to start gardening, because if all these people are spending their time growing things from the earth, and all I'm doing is binging TV shows over and over again, elbow deep in a bag of Cheetos, like, maybe I need to change my lifestyle. Paula Burrows just moved to a new apartment and has been spending a lot of her time reading on her new balcony, which is a great way to spend your time. Sasha Roshan has been doing a lot of painting, and specifically she's painted Bart Simpson and Bugs Bunny on the inside of her closet, which is pretty cool. Justin Richmond, the other co-creator of the show, has built a shed so he has a little bit of space to work on his projects. Raquel Belmonte has dyed her hair earlier this year, and apparently she, like, burnt herself, but it's all healed up now, and she said she's ready to do it again. Also, she has got to be the winner of the coolest name contest. I mean, Raquel Belmonte. That sounds like the name of, like, some long-forgotten monarch from the old world. The next thing that they went over on the panel was a small preview of the Art of the Dragon Prince book, which is going to be coming out later this year, August 18th to be exact. It had some really interesting stuff in it. One of the things that I really liked was this female star-touched elf, and she is just absolutely gorgeous. It's so amazing. I really wonder if this is going to be an actual character or if this is just some concept art. There's also an excessive amount of art showing Claudia using Tentacle Arm, and it looks really cool. Now, the next thing that happened was a cast reading of a portion of Through the Moon, which was actually on my wish list, as some of you guys will remember, and I was very happy to see this.
Do you like my collection, Rayla? Look here. I've added another
Get away from him!
It's too late, Rayla, but don't worry. You'll be joining them very soon. Hurrah!
What? Oh, all right, I'm up. I'm up already. Why are you coming after me with a great big awful feather? What's happening?
I thought you'd make a cute face, but it's more of a
But what?
angry face.
Callum, you really shouldn't use Fifi's feathers like that.
Fifi? Wait, you were tickling me with a feather from Lujan's dead phoenix?
Yeah, but
We got a letter from Jane about the feather. Fifi sacrificed herself to get me here from the storm spire. I owe her everything. She left this glowing feather behind when she died. Jane says we need to bring the ghost feather to the moon nexus before the next new moon so she can perform a ritual. Fifi is a moon phoenix. This must be how she get reborn.
The new moon? That's only 3 days away.
Yeah, she really should have sent this sooner.
We'd better get moving. What are you doing up so early anyway?
well, it's everyone else has been up for hours, really.
Oh. Hey Ez, can you go with us? Don't you have all sorts of kingly duties now?
Well, yes, but this is important. Soren and I can be away for a little while. I left a note for Opelli that explains everything. She'll be fine. I'm going to get packed. Soren and I will meet you at the courtyard in an hour.
Up late again?
Yeah. I couldn't rest. I just lay awake thinking too much. And even when I did get to sleep, we never found his body, Callum. We looked everywhere. I know he fell from halfway to the moon, but we should have found something. Anything.
Viren is dead, Rila. There's no possible way that he could have.
You don't know that. Everyone wants to move on. But what if it's not over?
Rila, what if it is time to move on?
How am I supposed to do that? I lost my parents, I lost Renan, and I still don't know what happened to them.
Sorry, Rila. I just hate seeing you like this.
I guess I have been a bit of a mess.
We're all a mess sometimes. Me, I'm usually a mess.
It's true. You've been wearing this same scarf for as long as I've known you.
Listen, why don't we think of this trip to the Nexus as a vacation? There's a beautiful lake, some really neat ruins, and all the grubs you can eat.
Sounds lovely. Thank you, Callum. A vacation is probably exactly what I need.
I really enjoyed this cast reading. I feel a little bit bad because they gave Sasha like all of the expositional dialogue, and you can really hear her struggling to read through all of it in one take, but she did the best she could. I also have trouble reading through long bouts of text like I'm doing right now. The next thing that they covered in the panel was the announcement of a Zedia RPG, which I am very excited about. I'm a huge fan of tabletop gaming in general and a very avid Dungeons & Dragons player, and I cannot wait for this to come out. I've already told my friends about it, and we're all super hyped and ready to dive in to the world of Zedia with our own characters and make the story our own. Accompanying the announcement was a skit where everybody was playing a tabletop game, but they were actually playing in character, and it was really amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys an edited version of the skit like I did with the one at the beginning, because it's a lot of fun, especially if you're a fan of tabletop RPGs.
It's game night in Zedia.
Yeah.
And Erebos is our dungeon master.
Ah. Welcome, travelers, to the tavern at the great crossroads of destiny. While a storm rages outside, your band of misfits enter through the creaky old door and take a seat at a grand oaken table. One by one, you introduce yourself. This is where you tell each other about your characters.
Oh, great, right. Okay, I'll go first. My character is a mysterious elf assassin with 2 beautiful blades to match my 2 beautiful eyes.
And I'm a young, talented, dorky mage, but like cute dorky. I have a tome of spells under my arm.
My character cannot help but look at her. He locks eyes with Rayla's mage.
There will be time for role-playing later. Soren?
Oh, okay. I'm handsome and very muscular warrior. Emphasis on handsome, emphasis on muscular.
What's your character's name?
Soren.
Soren, this is a role-playing game. You don't play yourself, you play a role.
I don't need to play a role when I'm already +3 cool.
Okay, well, some of us used our imagination. I'm a fairy rabbit paladin. My fuzzy fur is snow white, and I'm holding a shield shaped like a heart.
Delightful. Viren?
Oh, my character is complicated.
And
He is tragic, alone. The choices he must make will leave him forever haunted, but they will be necessary.
Very cool. Any distinguishing features? Like, what does he wear?
Oh, he wears a hat.
very original. And what about you, young Ezra?
I picked the Necromancer. My head is just a skull. It also says here, the dark void that was once my soul is fueled by the suffering of the innocent.
Let's begin. You survey the tavern around you. Candles flicker. The rain pounds outside. The bartender looks over, as if trying to eyes.
It also says here, I'm chaotic evil. Cool! I look back at the bartender and I cast Drain Soul.
You may try, but as a level 1 necromancer, it will be difficult.
Hey, I rolled a 20! Coils of malice grasp the bartender's very soul.
I bravely draw my blades. I must protect the helpless bartender.
Oh, we're fighting already? Okay, I start swinging my sword at, I don't know, Rayla's mage.
Wait, what?
Wait, I take it back. My swords gleam in the moonlight as I leap to the defense of the beautiful mage.
Hey, no takebacks.
My character takes action. This action appears unforgivable to all who witness it, but I do what I must do, what must be done, though they will never thank me for my sacrifices.
Like, what do you actually do?
Wait, stop. Why are we fighting? I use my fuzzy bunny fairy magic to quell the violence within our hearts. I rolled a 1.
Then I keep swinging.
I cast a fireball at Soren's butt.
A dragon crashes through the roof of the tavern and kills everyone. And the adventure is over.
Since my character's already technically dead, I'm okay, right?
Yes,
Great. I loot their corpses for blood.
The next thing that they went over was the long-awaited question and answer section, which was really funny, actually. Most of the questions that they selected were not very serious. They were mostly just there for comedy. I mean, it makes sense. Like, you don't really want to reveal your big dramatic story secrets in a Q&A panel. You really want to save that for the show. The first question was whether or not elves had 4 toes or not. Now, Paula always assumed that they had 6 toes so they could count to 20, which is, and I will admit, a perfectly logical deduction. But the consensus turned out to be that they did in fact have 4 fingers and 4 foot fingers. That's toes. The second question was about whether or not Through the Moon was going to be critical to the canon of the story. Basically, they were asking about whether or not you have to read Through the Moon in order to understand the events of the season 4, or if you could skip it and not be confused. And Aaron Ehas makes this face, which is a perfectly reasonable face to come to, because it's a tricky question for a creator to answer, because on one hand, you have to assume that your audience is not all going to read the extra materials, so you don't want to make your side stories too critical to your story, because you don't want to confuse your viewers who don't read the extra material. However, on the other hand, if you come out and you say, no, the story is not important to the next season, then you're basically undermining the importance of the story itself. So Aaron does the best he can answering this question, basically stating that it is going to be canonical. So he basically doesn't really answer it. But he means that the events are going to be canon with the rest of the seasons. So he's not really revealing how necessary it's going to be to read Through the Moon in order to understand the events, but he did the best he could. That was a real curveball right there. The third question is another fun one, where they asked whether or not Sasha would like jelly tarts or not. And she revealed that she's actually never had them before. The fourth question that was asked at the panel was, what was Eric's favorite aspect of Erebos, and if they had any similarities. Eric revealed that his favorite part of Erebos was the mystery, but he doesn't believe that he and his character have too much in common. Apparently, Erebos is much more patient than he is. The fifth question that was asked was directed towards Justin and Aaron, the co-creators of the show, about what was the best pop cultural reference that didn't end up making it into the script. And Justin revealed that they had basically made a ton of Guns N' Roses references, but ultimately decided not to use them because apparently they didn't think it was very good. But hey, I mean, I probably would have enjoyed it. I love terrible humor. If you haven't gathered, that's my entire channel here. The sixth question was supposed to be asked by Eric, but he couldn't figure out where the questions were, showing off his mad grandpa energy some more, which is just the absolute cutest thing. So Justin comes in and reads the question instead. The question being, what does Raquel think that Claudia and Erebos' dynamic is going to be, since she clearly doesn't like elves? Raquel basically surmises that she will follow what her father values, since she always has, and since Viren values Erebos as a confidant and a companion, that she will as well. She also suspects that there might even be a bit of a protege relationship that develops with her and Erebos, so that could be really interesting. I always kind of imagined that Claudia's path is taking her all the way to the secondary villain position of the series, surpassing even Viren. I think that at the end of the show, Erebos and Claudia are going to be the two main baddies. The seventh question was whether or not Soren would be okay. And now, this is actually something that I've been worrying about myself, since Soren has kind of already completed his character arc, so it would not be too far, like, out of the realm of possibility for the writers to realize that his story has kind of been fulfilled, and to kind of use him as a catalyst for other events. Basically, he'll be like the Agent Coulson in the Avengers, where he's the one that dies, so all the heroes kind of rally behind to go take the villains down. I don't know, but like if you look closely at Justin Richmond's face when this question gets asked, like, what is that face, Justin? What aren't you telling me? I need to know that my boy Solar Bear is going to be okay. And what is that face, Justin? Also, like, look at Aaron. Aaron gets really uncomfortable in his chair and starts shifting around. What aren't you telling me? I can't handle this stuff, Richmond and Ehad. You can't be doing this to me. You gotta let me know Solar Bear's gonna be okay. The eighth question was directed at Jason, who, by a 1 in a trillion chance, has video connection issues the second that the question is directed at him. And the whole thing kind of feels like a scene out of Unfriended. It's really surreal.
Very true. That's true.
Okay, this next question is for Jason. From MJ Cutler from Facebook. What is your favorite Viren scene?
What's up, MJ?
The Jason freeze.
I'm now totally freaked out.
I thought it was like on me or something, but no.
I know his answer.
Well, we
Am I still frozen?
You're still frozen.
I thought
Yeah.
it was a bit at first, but
Oh.
he's frozen.
Yeah.
I'm getting some voice now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
There he
oh,
is.
there
He's back.
The ninth question was directed at everyone, and it was who everybody wished they could voice if they could switch voices for a day. And the consensus basically being that everybody wanted to be Eric Todd Dellums because his voice is literally what most people imagine God's voice to sound like. It was actually kind of funny. Eric says that he wants to play Ezrin and that he makes an incredible suggestion that he and Sasha should switch characters for a day. And, well, I'm gonna have to make a sample for you guys of what that could look like.
Ezrin?
Also, Aaron E has promises that the next panel that they are going to do a sketch of Erebos ordering a pizza, and I need you guys to help me to keep reminding him next year when Comic-Con is coming up, because that is something that we the community absolutely need to see. It is integral to our enjoyment of the series. Erebos needs to order a pizza. The 10th question was regarding the age of Bait and exactly how old he is. The consensus being that he's anywhere between the ages of 3 or 56. Actually, Aaron says that he might be one of the oldest characters on the show, apart from Erebos and Zubeia, so that's really old. No wonder he's so grumpy. And the final question was the question that all of us had on our minds, the confirmation of the Dragon Prince Season 4. So yes, Season 4 has been confirmed, and it will be coming at some date. I was a little disappointed at first that they did not give us an exact release date, but that was quickly offset by the announcement that the entire series has been picked up by Netflix. So I'm okay with that now because I know that I will be getting a 4th season, but not just that, I will be getting the rest of the saga. So we can all enjoy the wonderful story of the Dragon Prince, and we get to see these characters' journeys all the way to completion. So that is probably the thing that most people are going to be talking about. It was definitely the most highly anticipated bit of information that we were all wanting to know, and it turned out even better than I could hope. Alright, wow, that was a long one. That was the whole panel. That was it. That was a summary of everything. I've never done a video like this covering an entire thing, but I've enjoyed other breakdown videos, so I hope you guys were able to enjoy this one as well. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel a lot. Also, great news, I just crossed my first milestone of getting 100 subscribers. So thank you all so much for watching and subscribing. I love you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video where I will be reacting to a lot of memes that have been coming out. So I'll see you guys then.